Hi guys, it's Wolver here guys. It is Tuesday afternoon, it's 7:30 p.m. I know that I said that I can't talk about the operations, about the RV and everything, but I just wanted to put something across. But before I do that, people are very worried and saying when it's going to start, right? Guys, I'm under NDA for a certain platform which I can't talk about, and if they're putting me on the radar not to shut me up. No, not just me. It's the whole of the people, right? It's because they're getting ready, right? And hopefully we'll get some good news. Hopefully tomorrow. I know it's always tomorrow, and I'm sick of it. I understand. I don't control this, and I'm sure that you've been hearing Mark said. Actually, he's really excited, right? We're all excited, right? So all I can tell you guys is certain things have started. All right, that's all I can tell you. Now, I just want to say something about the yellow dragon bond. It's really, really annoying the hell out of me, guys. Now, all I do is, why do I do this? Is in order to help people actually acquire this asset in case they don't have currency or whatever, or they want to actually get these bonds, right? So they can actually have a good return actually on their investment, right? Before they actually, our well shuts the door, and then no more, right? And that's why I do it. That's right. Because why? I'm a humanitarian. I'm trying to help people so they can acquire assets, even if it was Zim or whatever I'm entitled to it. And okay, they tell me, look, can you promote Zim because we got extra boxes and we like to actually give them away. Obviously, not going to give it free. Okay, they're not going to give it for free, right? And so they'll say, can you do this for me, Wolver? Yeah, not a problem. So we can get these people actually to get these Zim notes or Yellow Dragon bonds or German bonds or Pacelli bonds, I think they're called. But anyway, guys, there's an idiot actually that I think is a spokesperson for Goldilocks. He called me a weasel. Look, there's a lot of people attacking me. Anyway, even the so-called gurus actually are attacking me. Guys, the whales wouldn't be actually acquiring boxes with yellow dragons or German bonds or Pacelli bonds, right? Or especially the yellow dragons if they're not worth anything. It's absolutely ridiculous statement this guy's making, saying that the yellow dragon bonds cannot be redeemed. They're not worth anything. Guys, I've seen the contracts from these, right? How much they're worth. Now, these whales, I'm not going to be doing contracts actually with paymasters or whatever it is, with certain foundation groups or whatever you call it, right? And what, for something that's not worth anything? It's stupid and irresponsible what this person is doing, because this person, right, is not actually helping people, because this guy is depriving people actually to acquire these assets, right? Now these people make themselves out to like they know everything. They know everything, and unfortunately people fall for it, right? They fall for it and they say, oh, thank you for rescuing me, thank you so much, Now my well has been actually on this for 30 years, and it wouldn't actually have all these boxes of yellow dragon bonds because they're not worth anything. It fathoms the mind. It really does. And it's just not him. There is so many whales that have boxes of yellow dragon bonds, And I can tell you, the only ones that are worth are the ones that are registered on the contract by the DoD. Why would the DoD, right, sign these boxes, right, and acquire them? Why would they do that? Right? Now, you're saying that my whale is lying about DoD? No, because, okay, all these whales went to a certain place, I think it was in Zurich, they brought all those boxes so they can get audited and everything, right? And then they got marked, right, and under seal by the DoD, under contract. They've got all the paperwork there, so they cannot sell in loose bonds. They can't, because the boxes are under seal. So the only way they could do it actually for a law firm, right? And that's the way we do it, by the book. Now the lawyers, our lawyers, wouldn't be wasting our time on something that's not worth anything, because if the lawyers find out or that these bonds are not worth anything, would you imagine? Would you imagine they'll get sued, right? And they might lose their lives for something selling a scam, right? So guys, don't listen to this guy actually that represents Goldilocks. I do have actually a respect for Goldilocks. I don't know who Goldilocks is. I think it's some Indian woman, I think it is. But this guy is a representative actually of Goldilocks on his channel. He's a complete dick. I'll say it right now, he's a dick, right? And he calls me a weasel because he says that I sent someone from the chosen room, but he calls it the unchosen because he's probably pissed off actually because he's got only a little small followers or whatever, right? It says that I've actually got this person actually to infiltrate the channel. I don't give an F. I don't give an F about that channel. I don't even follow Goldilocks. I have respect for Goldilocks. I think she has great information, right? But I don't follow any of these people, right? I do my own thing, right? I got my own contacts, right? And I have respect for Mark Zed, for Bruce, and for Texas Snake, right? For all these people that are trying to do something for the community, right? And I'm not saying that we are 100% right because we never are, right? We do the best we can with our own ability. And if that dickhead, sorry for my words, is calling me a scammer, he can F off, right? I had enough. Enough is enough. We're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to be all together and live in harmony and help each other, right? And if you're out there actually on this channel, right, I hope you guys remove yourself from that channel because that guy is depriving people actually of acquiring certain assets that can help you economically wise. All right. You have a good day, guys. Sorry for my words, guys, but I'm just pissed off. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Forwarded from Wolverine 02-10-25. For the idiot who said that the yellow dragon bonds are not worth anything, I need to educate this fool. Dragon Bond, November 27, 2003, by James Chen. What is a dragon bond? A dragon bond is a fixed income security issued by an Asian bank, except Japan, which is denominated in a foreign currency, often in US dollar or the Japanese yen. Denominated in currencies deemed more stable currencies than the home currency, they are attractive to foreign investors. Breaking down Dragon Bond. Dragon bonds can be more complex than other bonds because of international differences in taxation, regulatory compliance issues facing firms that issue them, plus limited liquidity in trading them in secondary markets. They are, however, structured to be as appealing as possible to investors outside of Asia, mainly because they mitigate the foreign exchange risk that can impact returns as currency values change. In most respects, dragon bonds represent the Asian equivalent of euro bonds in that they are denominated in what are widely viewed as stable currencies but traded in Asia, not Europe. How dragon bonds mitigate currency risk. Dragon bonds, first introduced by the Asian Development Bank (ADB) in 1991 to broaden the market for fixed income securities in Asia and develop more active Asian financial markets. Although Asian companies had issued bonds in local currencies, they appealed mostly to domestic investors, limiting access to capital. Foreign investors were often reluctant to buy bonds denominated in currencies that could fluctuate rapidly. Currencies such as the US dollar and Japanese yen were considered stable enough for accumulating assets. For example, an Indonesian company might issue a 20-year bond denominated in Indonesian rupiah (IDR) with a coupon rate of 4% paid annually. If the US dollar / Indonesia rupiah USD to IDR were 10,000 rupiahs per $1, then a 100 million rupiah bond would be the equivalent of $10,000. Each interest payment of 4 million rupiah would represent $400 at the time the bond is issued. To an Indonesian investor, an investment of 100 million rupiah would pay 4 million rupiah per year with a return of principal after 20 years. But for an investor buying such a bond with US dollars, an unfavorable movement between the relative value of the two currencies could create extra risk. In the next year, the exchange rate shifted from 10,000 RDR to 1 USD to 11,000 RDR to 1 USD. Then the first coupon payment of 4 million rupiah would only be worth only about $364 instead of $400 as anticipated when the bond was first issued. The bond's 100 million rupiah face value would be worth about $9,091, and if the prevailing interest rate moves up, the value of the bond would be even lower. However, a dragon bond denominated in US dollars, while still subject to interest rate risk, would not be subject to currency risk. The regional economy has changed significantly in the years since the introduction of dragon bonds in 1991, including the 1997 Asian financial crisis and the growth of the Chinese economy. However, the dragon bond helped Asian markets attract more foreign investment. Forwarded from Dream Believe. Bruce is saying all is ready and we should be notified tomorrow. Rates are in, very high for us. Appointments Thursday with a possible celebration call on Thursday. Oh, I pray it's true.
Dad, let's go ahead and knock out this Intel segment. What's interesting about where we are is I have to think back to how much I've heard and not heard since our last call on Thursday night, right? 5 days, a lot has happened. A lot of information has come in. Some of it has invalidated itself with new information that superseded it. And I want you guys to realize that what I do is I get information usually cleared through one source, sometimes two, and it clears and it comes to me, and then I have to go, okay, how does this line up with the other things that we heard a day ago or 2 days ago? Can I resolve anything that wasn't clear with new information? And I go through and I listen to what there is and I try to vet the information as well as I can to check on it and see where's it coming through, what sources, and so on, because we have a lot of different sources that bring us information, even though it's getting tougher and tougher for certain types of banking sources and redemption center sources, because they're all under NDAs, new NDAs, and they really can't tell us much, if anything. It's very close. So I'll just tell you this much. We have, as of today, let me make this true. Now, yesterday was Monday. As of yesterday, we have rates on redemption center screens, which was not on for 3 or 4 days prior. We had them on bank screens, and they're still on bank screens, but they were not on redemption center screens until yesterday at 9 in the morning. Now they're still on, but they want us to be, they being the Treasury, the government, however you want to look at it, they want us to be pleasantly surprised by very strong rates that are at the redemption centers. And I believe we will be very impressed with those rates. It's not about rates for us. If you're a Zim holder, you know you're on par with the US dollar. On par means the same value as. And then the other thing is, if you're looking at dinar, I've told you guys they plan to offer us a contract rate, which I told you last week was quite high, and I gave you the amount. Roughly, the rough amount, if you had the intuition to figure it out. The other rates are very strong, and I myself think I know roughly where a few of them are, but I'm not even sure at this point. They could be even better than I thought they would. Now, the trick is going to be to just take the toll-free number when it comes in, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Take it, call the number, which will put you through a call center, possibly AI-controlled at first, and then it should transfer you to a real live breathing person at the redemption center that will help you to finalize your appointment at the zip code that you indicate when you first get on with your AI person, let's call it, okay? You have to give them two things, your name and your zip code. Now, they may ask for more than that, but that is what I believe you will need. Just basically two things, those two things, your name and your zip code for where you want to exchange. It could be near where you live, it could be near where you work, or it could be a completely different area because you're traveling and you're in a different state. That's possible too, but you just need to find out what the zip code is in that area you want to be. So that gets you into the system. You go ahead and speak to the person. Shouldn't take more than a minute, 2 at the most, to get what you need from the person as the person finishes up with you setting the appointment. Appointments are supposed to be about no longer than 30 to 40 minutes, and they've allotted an extra 10 minutes as a buffer between appointment times. Okay, so you should have appointments every 50 minutes as a result. 40 to get everything done, and 10-minute buffer between the next person coming in. So you get out of there, the new person gets in, they reset whatever they need to do on the do la rue machine, the computers and all that, and they're ready to go. Okay? So that's going to be cool. Now, once they get started, I'll tell you when I think that is, but once they get started, they will continue to see us to do appointments, to exchange and redeem the Zim for at least 2 weeks. Some redemption centers are going to go 19 days. Some might just need to go a week. It all depends on the demographics in the area we're talking about. There's certain parts of the country where there are not that many Zim holders. There are not that many currency holders. Other parts, like Florida, have a lot. They have the most Zim holders. Texas has the second most Zim holders. California has the third most Zim holders. And then we go to other states beyond that. So it's all good. Just realize if you're in Florida, just do your best to set your appointment and realize there are a lot of people in Florida that have Zim. And that's a priority thing. Obviously, they want the Zim because of the huge value in those notes. Okay, you can have one note, one $10 trillion note, and be golden. You could have a 50T or 100T or multiple trillions of notes, and you're going to be in great shape. It's hard to imagine, really, how much we're talking about. But let's do it this way. Let me tell you, we have today, all the redemption centers are fully staffed. All the currencies are live on the screens, and we're really ready to get started. We had a possibility of getting notified this evening after 6 o'clock, and I didn't buy that was going to happen. But tomorrow, it looks like, from what we're hearing, tomorrow is Wednesday, we should get notified. Maybe it's before or maybe it's by noon tomorrow, and then we should set our appointments and start exchanges on Thursday. That's what we've heard so far, and that's what I'm going with as far as that goes. Now, the only other thing I'm going to tell you tonight is when it comes to us getting in touch with you after this goes, I'm going to make the assumption that we might have a quick celebration call Thursday night. If we get these numbers tomorrow and we start our exchanges Thursday, I hope that we're still allowed to do one last call live, which would be a celebration call. Okay, so I'm gonna schedule that and believe that that's going to happen. Same time, same station, Thursday night. Now, obviously, if we don't get the numbers for some reason tomorrow, then we will do a normal call, or don't get them Thursday morning for some reason, then they will do a normal Thursday night call. But at this point, from what I'm hearing, we should be celebrating tomorrow and Thursday night, but we'll do the call Thursday night, assuming that we have numbers and we've actually set our appointments and gone in for some exchanges and redemption of Zim. Okay, let's see, one more thing. When it comes to us being in contact with you, we have bigcalluniverse.com, which you should be registered on. All you do is use your email to register. And we will be in touch with you after the 800 number comes out. It'll be on the website, and we'll also send out an email to you with the 800 number. So look for both of those, and you'll probably get your email from Wells Fargo tomorrow anyway, and see that before we add it, unless something weird happens and I get it early for some reason. But at this point, we don't expect that. So we'll see what happens on that. The other thing is, after this goes, we need time to do everything like you guys are going to do. We need time to look and lock in some real estate. We need time to possibly get a new car or whatever. We need time to maybe take a week's vacation somewhere. All of that could take a little time. Plus, we've got to build out a couple of our websites, which is going to take a little time, but we're going to let you know how it's going. So you guys, I want to do an interactive website for Rebuild America where you can go online on our site and you can pick up the questionnaire, which might be 15 to 20 questions that you fill out online and then submit it so we can learn a little bit more about how you want to participate with us in Rebuild America. We'll know basically your level of interest. We'll know where in the country you are. We'll know what you might have in the way of special abilities or talents to put toward it. I mean, these type of questions, very simple. Obviously, the part of the country, maybe list 3 towns or communities or cities that you want to be involved with in Rebuild, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's going to be cool. We'll knock it out. We're not going to make it super long, but I'm thinking 10 questions, maybe 20. So we'll see how that comes together with the guys that are building up the site. We got to do that for you. And then we're going to do anything that Bob and I do, and maybe Sue will want to chime in too, on podcasts about Rebuild America, about the Veterans Retreat Network, about the Pastoral Retreat Network, about Rebuild International, all of those 4 project areas that I've chosen, I'll do a podcast on. And it might just be on one. One could be an overview on all of them, and another podcast could be separate. What I'll do is I'll send you an email, or our team will send you an email, and we will put a link on that in that email that you click on, and then boom, you can listen to it at your own pace and know what we're talking about and keep up with us as we move forward. It's going to be a great time. Looking forward to it. I expect you guys to take at least 2 weeks to a month to get your stuff together and to, get used to the idea of the new wealth, to get used to the idea of either fixing up your home or moving or buying new real estate or whatever, new car, whatever you're looking to get, whatever you're looking to do. And most of you guys will probably want to take a vacation if you haven't had one in a while, right? If you haven't had one, you want to get out of Dodge and get out of the cold and go to Florida or go to the Caribbean or something, or go on a cruise ship, whatever it is you like that you may not have done. This is a new way to enjoy the new wealth before we get cranked up on our projects. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We plan to get together regionally across the country, a little bit regionally. And so I'll let you know how that's going to work out. That would be in a podcast that we would talk about. All right? So let's do this. Make sure you're registered on bigcalluniverse.com with your email. And that's the only way we'll have to be in touch with you because we're not going to do any more live calls. If we get the numbers, we won't do any more live calls. After Thursday, that'll be just a short, may not even be live. It could be a recorded celebration call. We'll see. We'll plan to do it live right now. So be prepared for that.
Hey guys, how are you? So today is Wednesday. God only knows what date it is. Hang on, let me see if I can find out. The 12th. Wednesday, 12th of February. It is now 7 a.m., almost 7 a.m. And while there's not much information being shared regarding the RV, there's even less about the med beds. Why? Because the med beds are ready to go and they have been for a long time. When the redemption appointment notifications are released, it is that the med beds will be available to the humanitarians, those who receive humanitarian funding. So they're ready. They're ready to go. So there is no updates on the med beds because they are ready. As for the RV, there's a lot of information, a lot of things are happening, just we can't talk about it. And even though I'm not an RV person, I do get information, which most often I don't share because, like you, I'm sick of this roller coaster, information not coming true. The information, when it's given, is true, but then it doesn't happen because it's constantly changing. So I, like you, am very annoyed, very frustrated over this shit, so to speak. So what do we do from here? Well, I'm not going to spell it out for you, but I can tell you what I'm going to be doing today. I'm staying home and looking for property. That's what I'm doing today. Because I want to have several properties lined up to look at when that magical email arrives. I know this morning, since I woke up, or just in the last half hour actually, that my guides and galactics have been telling me I need to dust things off and prepare, because at the moment I will need them very, 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 very soon. So, even halfway through my exercises, I was told to stop, go back inside, and start looking for property. Spend the whole day looking at properties, going through them. Yes, I know I've been told that I already have a property, like many of us already do. But just in case, it doesn't hurt to cover all the bases. Because one, I don't want to stay in this motel as soon as those notifications come. And two, it's not safe for me to stay in this motel, because many people do know where I live, and it's not safe. So if you are homeless, or you are in a sad situation, or a situation that is potentially risky, potentially abusive, whether it be family or partner, it might be a good idea to look at holiday homes, motels, hotels, in the next state or the next few suburbs over. Might be time to look for property. Maybe you too should dust your things off, your projects, and just go through your currencies again. Go and look at those bikini bodies and those gorgeous other bodies like Henry Cavill, Chris Hemsworth, if you're a man, whatever floats your boat. We won't go down that path. It's too early in the morning to get that hot. But you know what I'm saying. Maybe, just maybe, this time, we might be right. It doesn't hurt to be prepared. Don't forget to meditate. Raise your frequency. Get into your heart. Have a beautiful, blessed day, everyone. Bye.
Forwarded from Mike Bara on the 11th of February 25. More news from the bond side. A different government source sees the gold has been put in and bond contracts go out tomorrow. Forwarded from Mike Bara, 02/11/25. One of my best sources just got an anonymous call. Just FYI, it's tonight or tomorrow. Click. We'll see. I pray it's true. This was forwarded from Rambo 32. I don't know who this person is, but it was posted on the Chosen Ones Telegram channel. Would have been 10th of February 25. Just in my opinion, based on what we're seeing, and have no problem being corrected. By the way, if the HCL was signed on 2nd of February but not activated until 10 to 15 days later, that would mean they inadvertently told us a time frame for the rewrite. That would mean that from Wednesday the 12th through Monday the 17th, we should see the new rate. The fundamentals tell us that the HCL cannot activate without the new rate. Lastly, to me, it appears that the smoke and mirrors of these budget tables, which were dropped out of thin air, I might add, are just silly without knowing the rate anyway. How can you assess the necessary outflows of funds if you don't know what the rate the money is at? Makes sense. I love this. Live fully. Create happiness. Speak kindly. Hug daily. Smile often. Hope more. Laugh freely. Seek truth. Inspire change. Love deeply.